Okay, it's February 5th here, and I saw a comment on one of my videos about using market orders or limit orders, and generally why I generally use market orders. So I thought I'd make a video kind of explaining the way I like to enter and exit trades most of the time. And as an example, I'll go back to some of the trades from yesterday. So here I'm showing, this is Exxon. I'm showing I exited my final position at 82.40. And I scaled out of the first part of the position somewhere around 82. And I just thought I'd show you, if you look at, here's the 15-minute chart of the entire day of Exxon. And if you look back at the video, you'll see here I bought it pretty aggressively on the 5-minute chart early. The 15-minute chart turned green. I exited half the position at 82 even, and that was on a market order. And then I exited, it almost looks too good to be true that I got here. The high of the day here was, well, it got up to 82.53, and on this bar when I was exiting, it was 82.45, and I exited right around here, 82.40. So the question is, did I have a magical, and I also had a target, if I zoom this out a little bit, higher up here, just in the bigger picture. So it's not like I'm waiting for price to always reach my target. I kind of know where the target is a lot of time, and that's big picture stuff. So it's not like I expect it always to get there on that day. But in this case, what I decided to do to exit up there, and I talked about this with market orders, a lot of times when I'm ready to exit, or I just feel I want to, we're maybe getting here's a push up, a pause, a second push up. I just feel it's about the type of area for this price stock that I want to take my gains. I'll look at the 1-minute swings going on. That's the 1-minute chart here, and this is what I was doing. And here's like the exact high of the day. And at the time, it had just paused in here, was heading higher, and then as it made this swing up, right as across this level, which I think was the 37 mark, yeah, I just put in a market order at that point. So I just exited. If it would have went all the way up here, I don't care. But that's a lot of times I want to exit into strength. Now, in terms of buying it, the reason I use market orders, if I go to the 5-minute chart at the time, just to show you what I'm generally doing. Now, on this trade on Exxon, I kind of knew the daily chart going into the day was here, and price, given this 2-day pause, let me get my mouse, was likely to take out this high, which I think was 51. Yeah, 81.51. So I really wanted to get in before 81.51 because that was, I don't want to say I knew, but generally I knew it was going to, after opening strong with a strong 5, I knew it was going to take out this high at a minimum. So I was looking at the 5-minute bar quickly, and I should have bought it here closer to 80, in 80, 81.40 or something. And I forgot the exact price I got in, but it was just a little bit, somewhere on the second 5-minute bar, because I decided to be aggressive on this trade. But at the time, what I'm doing, and let me go, I should do this live one day to show you. I'm watching this bid-ask spread at the moment. And, I watch the fluctuations. I can see the two, the bid and the ask kind of going up, down, up, down, up, down on the very short run. And when I want to buy, I generally watch for it to be ticking up, both of them together. That means to me the short-term buying's in place. It's probably going to give me a little momentum to start the trade my way. And that's what I'm really watching closely. So in this case, when I'm anticipating, a 15-minute bar turning green, buying it down here, I'm just watching that 5-minute, making sure we're not going down at that exact moment. So I just want to show you how most of my market orders are entered. It's definitely looking at this bid ask and watching the fluctuation. And a lot of times I will, if I'm exiting a trade that's into some kind of strength, a lot of times I'm watching a swing on the 1-minute chart, and I'm just exiting with a market. I'm have my finger on the trigger as soon as I see it moving up here, and I can see we've had a bunch of pushes. So I kind of know that if you watch it, it's not going to just, you're not going to get tons of momentum up after you've had a bunch of swings within the 1 minute. And that's a lot of the reason I'll just exit. And again, if it goes much higher, I don't care. And then finally, if I click on like Goldman Sachs, there are times I'll just put limit orders in, like on yesterday. This is the opening 15-minute bar I bought. I just, yesterday's high was the target, and I had a limit order sitting here right above it at well, it's 365.76, so I just put a limit order in at 365.80 to exit, half the position. And then it did go a little higher from there. So, it's just, I just wanted to kind of show you that generally when I want in, so I want to go with a market order. And certainly if I want to get out, like there was a trade yesterday in UNH where if you look at the video, it almost stopped me out, my major, and then it came back to near break even, and then I just didn't see it following through, so I just wanted to immediately get out. I don't know if it's on here, UNH. Oh yeah, it's the bottom here. It was early on in the day where it was heading up. Well, is this something like? Oh, that's Goldman Sachs. Yeah, UNH is down here. Let me zoom it out a little bit. Yeah, it was this trade here where it was heading up. I really thought it would follow through, and then we almost came back and stopped me out on that first, second bar, and then we kind of came up again. And when it wasn't following through, and I just wanted out, I just use a market order a lot of, especially on exits. I don't want to risk, missing it and then losing even more if I'm going to take a loss, for example. So anyway, just thought I'd go over all that. It's the way I generally look to do it. Market orders for 90% of my trades, I'd say. Trying to exit into strength. Occasionally a limit order when I know a certain level is, going to be hit. But even on those cases, most of the time I'll watch it. If I'm sitting here, I'll watch it trade through the limit area just to see if we get a little follow through, and then decide if I want to hold on just a little longer. So even limit orders are kind of limited if you want to kind of put it that way. And so that's it. That's sort of just a video on just, how I look to enter and exit. A lot of times I'm anticipating final thought, like on the 15-minute bar. If I see, for example, here, 2 up, 2 down, and I'm watching, a lot of times I'll watch how much time's left in this bar. If there's only like 4 minutes to go and I'm pretty sure we're going to close green, I don't necessarily enter on the first 2 down, 2 up. If it happens within the first minute of the bar, I'll just watch it just a little bit to make sure. I just want to make sure this bar really turns green for me, even though it's a 2 down, 2 up. And sometimes I jump right in, and then I kind of anticipate, depending how much time's left in the bar. I just know that in the end, I want that signal to turn green, even though, the strat technically says just enter as soon as it goes above the high. A lot of times it's how much time's left in the bar. And if I see it's going to close green, with about a minute or 2 to go, I'll jump right in with a market order and feel comfortable that this signal's confirmed. So there's some of that going on too. Just thought I'd, again, shoot a video with some of the subtleties going on here. But again, mostly market orders and mostly watching that bid-ask spread right in here as it's forming, and then kind of the type of bar I'm looking for, how much time's left, and everything else. And that's it in terms of exiting and entering using, with the approach I like to use.